Good evening, guys. Welcome to tonight's video. So going to carry on from the last one where we talked about diet breaks and how they can basically be awesome, not just for busting plateaus, but lots of physiological and psychological reasons. So tonight I'm going to explain how to set these diet breaks up, okay? So they want to be between 1 and 3 weeks. 1 week is enough to see an effect. I would probably recommend at least 2 weeks, but don't worry about going to 3 if you want to go to 3. Now, one of the important things to remember about this is at maintenance calories. This is not a free-for-all. Disclaimer, this is not a sort of a free pass to go and pig out and, say, oh, Nathan gave me a free pass and said I could eat as much crap as I want for 2 weeks. It's not what I'm saying, okay? This is still controlled, but you have more calories to play with. So, for example, when you've been dieting, you've been eating less than you need. Let's say you've been eating 500 calories less than what you need a day. You now have 500 calories extra a day to play with, okay? This is, I will make a side note, this is where calorie counting does come in handy because it's probably easier to sort of guesstimate what your maintenance calories will be. You don't need to, but it's probably easier. And I'll talk a bit more about this later and why calorie counting is probably a bit more beneficial here. But like I say, you don't have to. Now, as I mentioned again, this isn't a free pass, it is controlled. You just have more calories to play with. However, you will find that you can probably fit some junk food in, okay? Awesome, great. What I will say as well is that carbs have the biggest effect here, okay? Increasing your calories itself will help to reset some of these adaptations that we spoke about in the last video, but carbs have the biggest effect. So if you want to get the most benefit out of this, the majority of these extra calories that you're eating need to come from carbs, okay? Now they can come from starchy carbs. Well, try and keep the majority from like starchy carbs, but you can chuck some simple carbs in and you can chuck some junk food in. And again, as long as they fit into your calorie budget, etc., that's totally fine, okay? And what I want to touch on as well is don't use this as an excuse. These are set up to be planned breaks from, good dieting phases. So you can't diet for 2 weeks and say, right, I'm going to take a 2-week break. It's not quite how it works. You still need to be dieting for a sustained period of time, otherwise you're not going to lose weight, okay? How I like to set it up is I like to say to people, right, we're going to go hard for 8 to 15 weeks, however you want to do it. Then we're going to take a 2-week break. We're going to, have a little bit of a rest, physiologically, psychologically. We're going to eat a little bit more food. We're going to chuck in a few maybe indulgences that we haven't been able to eat during this dieting phase. Then we're going to diet again, okay? And how long for example, if you don't just take the numbers, if you get to 8 weeks and you still feel like you can keep going, do a few more weeks. But then just plan them in, okay? They're planned breaks from harder dieting phases, okay? And the idea behind this is you're maintaining your weight, okay? And this is where, sort of as mentioned before, calorie counting is a bit easier because people's weights will do different things during these diet breaks, okay? Obviously, you're at maintenance calories, so the idea is you're maintaining your weight. However, you could lose weight. As I've spoke about in the previous video, a lot of people, when they've been dieting for a long period of time or quite aggressively, they hold water weight. Now, when you bring those calories up to maintenance, you're eating more a day, you could drop a lot of water weight. So you could, even though you're eating more, actually continue to lose weight, okay? So this is where calorie counting comes a bit easier because it's quite hard. It's harder to guesstimate if you're not counting, okay? Don't need to, but it's harder. Some people may find that they gain a little bit of weight. Don't worry. This is mainly people that have been doing low-carb diets, okay? So obviously if you don't eat many carbs, then you eat lots. You're gonna basically retain water. Carbs bring water with them. So if you've been low on carbs and you eat a lot, you're just going to hold a bit of water weight. Totally fine. As soon as you go back to dieting and you drop calories and you drop carbs, this will reset itself. It's just water. Now, if you gain 6, 8, 10 pounds during this break, something went a little wrong, okay? You're probably eating too much, okay? So, you know, there's a balance here. And again, this is why calorie counting is easier, because it's just easier to guesstimate how much you need to eat, okay? So work your maintenance calories out. Now, again, I want to touch on the fact that this is not a free-for-all. This isn't 2 weeks. You know, I've dieted hard for 8 weeks. I'm going to eat 2 weeks of crap. Not how it works. You can fit junk food in, and you have that ability to, you're eating more food because you're not in a deficit anymore. You're maintaining your weight. You're not losing weight. So you get to eat more food. You get that psychological and physiological break. And you can probably chuck in some indulgences that you haven't been able to before. So enjoy it. But again, it is controlled. It's not a free-for-all, okay? So there's the video for tonight, guys. So over the last couple, we've talked about why these are so awesome. I'm not going to go over them again because you can go back and find that out. But physiologically, psychologically, for so many reasons, breaking plateaus, making fat loss easier, giving you a mental break, so many reasons why these are so good, okay? So use them, you know, use them. And don't see them as a plateau, because they're not. Yes, you're maintaining weight, but they help to make fat loss easier next time, okay? So, hopefully you got some value from that. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, and share, because I do always appreciate it. And it helps to push the video out to more people. And obviously, I want to help as many people as I can.